Trojan Philly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, the topic of the day is going to be Vance Spafford. Listen, four-star wide receiver out of Mission Viejo, stands at 5'11", 175 pounds. And look, man, he's a highly versatile guy, a highly competitive guy, a guy that's very elusive, a guy that can get out, move and groove all over the field, and a guy who has precise route running. And so, look, man, let's talk about him, man. He's the topic of the day because he's essentially being put on flip watch by rivals. Rivals thinks that, look, he's one of those guys that can flip. We already know he's one of those guys that can flip. Just scheduled his official visit, but you see why he's one of those guys that highly sought after right now from the state of California. That makes it even more so why we need to try to secure this guy, because he is a guy that is a different style receiver than some of the guys we have right now. You guys know USC did lose one receiver in Cohen Brown and out of the state of Texas, but this will be a good replacement. And when you look at the guys that we currently have right now, it's just different styles. So we'll look at those guys as well. But Vance Spafford, man, he's rated, for those who don't know, number 75 overall in the country, number 9 wide receiver in the country, and number 11 player in the state of California. Plays in one of the best leagues in the country and able to move and groove like this. And so you got to think that USC is absolutely going to put the full court press on a guy like Vance Spafford. Vance Spafford does have an official visit coming up June 10th. And you got to think that, look, man, the flip is going to be all the way in. The full court press is going to be all the way in for Vance Spafford. He's at home already. He's right in his backyard. We've seen guys like Tom already. We've seen guys like Samote. We've seen Weaver. And we'll talk about the receiver class as well. We've seen guys already put the full flip watch in play. And we think Vance Spafford can do the exact same thing. So here's a list from Rivals. They put up 10 guys that can flip. And let's take a look at them right here. Number 1 is Cameron Brooks from Cal. Number 2 is Keyshawn Henderson from Utah. Number 3 is Samuel Mulia from Texas A&M. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. Number 4 is Jaden O'Neal, Oklahoma. Number 5 is Carson Snead, Tennessee. And then here you are, number 6 is going to be Vance Spafford from Georgia. So we really think this is this is something that's going to probably happen, man. It's a good chance that this can happen. USC, why wouldn't you be at USC? Georgia doesn't use receivers the same way USC and Lincoln Riley uses wide receivers. Why would you want to even go to Georgia and consider Georgia? Matter of fact, no disrespect to Zachariah Branch or them, but I was kind of surprised. We saw what happened with Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson is extremely explosive. When he transferred from USC and went to Georgia, he just didn't get the time. And now I think he just committed to Purdue with former Coach Henson, which I think is a good fit for him. But I just don't think Georgia, if you're talking about a receiver that's explosive like Spafford, I don't think Georgia is one of those schools that you necessarily go to get the ball to you, to get you the ball, somebody that can get the ball to you in space like Lincoln Riley's offense could. I don't think Georgia is that fit. All right, just to remind you what USC currently has on the table as far as wide receiver commits. By the way, if you did not know, Luke Weaver, who just committed to USC, just became a 4-star. I believe it was last week. So shout out to him, Notre Dame Sherman Oaks. He's ranked the number 43 receiver overall, number 32 in the state, and he is a 4-star prospect. And as we stated, just became a 4-star. That is, we already knew. We saw his film, and we talked about him looking like Juju Smith-Schuster coming up the middle. And then Trent Mosley, who is an absolute baller out of Santa Margarita, 4-star prospect. He's a wide receiver that's already committed to us, and we know how explosive he is. He was projected to go to Notre Dame. His parents went to Notre Dame, and for USC to get him, that was a great big-time pickup, an explosive guy. So those are 2 guys that we know that are explosive receivers out of the state of California that USC currently already has. All right, and these are the next 2. Jamyron Baker, Tron Baker, standing at 6'1", 170, number 77 at his position, 3-star prospect, number 47 receiver. Tron. He's legit. He has the hands. I think he's I guess the Tyler Vaughns type of guy, like just has those hands. able to move and groove on all fronts, different style receiver. So, that's the third type of receiver that we have. And then, of course, Roderick Chizino out of the state of Louisiana, a bigger body here, almost 6'3", 175 pounds, 63rd at his position, number 14 in the state of Louisiana, which we told you that Louisiana has no slouch. They're no slouch as it relates to football. But he's from Appaloosa, Louisiana, and he's a big time player. So look, man. So those are the receivers that we have, and the question is, can USC make it if they didn't have Vance Spafford? Absolutely, USC could always make it. USC has always made it just because the position receiver is a position that USC has always been able to get. But do we absolutely want Vance Spafford? That's the question. Absolutely. Do we want him? Do we want to, add him to this class? And can he be a weapon for this USC football team? Absolutely. He is that guy. I think that USC and the way his skill set is, USC, Lincoln Riley will absolutely just go crazy with a guy like Vance Spafford the way he is. He does run a 10.6. He's put up some phenomenal numbers, 1,500 yards his sophomore year, which is crazy. So look, man, that's the guy you want, man. So you guys can hit me in the comments. You guys tell me what you think. All right, last thing I got to touch on is this. States with the most players in the 2027, top 300. This just came out per On3, and you see it here, man. We told you that, California, Texas, and Florida has always been the big three. However, it looks like Georgia is trying to make their way. According to On3, you guys know I have my own recruiting service, if you will, and that's my own opinion in my own eyes, and it's called USCJ. Recruiting, if you will, and that's why I do my videos where I kind of do my own evaluation and say, look, these guys are not 3 stars, these guys are not no stars, these guys are big stars that have opportunity to be big time players. But so we got to be careful with this. But this is what On3 put out: Texas 39, according to them; California 31, according to them; Georgia 30, and Florida 29. So that's kind of a new thing for Florida to take a back seat to Georgia, according to On3. So you guys can drop the comments. You guys can tell me what you think. But that's the top 300 players. And California rather, is coming in second for the 2027. I'm going to tell you guys something. 2027 and 28, they got some ballers. I'm getting ready to do a player from California for my under the radar thing, my hidden gems. I'm getting ready to do a player from California, a couple of them. Man, I'm telling you, man, and you guys saw me. I did Deuce Smith the other day, and a couple other players. There are some ballers. These guys are looking more developed coming into 2027, 28. It's unreal, and California is loaded. So look, man, we getting ready to touch on that. We're gonna continue that series. So you guys can drop the comments. You guys tell me what you think. Vance Spafford appears to be on FlipWatch. Hit me in the comments. Tell me what you think. It's USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. I'm out of here. Fight on, fight on, fight on.